Anyway, the only way forward seems to be through a rather ominous cave. Before we go any further, I'd just like to say one thing. So this is what Aurora looks like then. I was hoping it'd be a little less cavey. Hello? Sounds like the dog's found something. Well, you never know, it might be a luxury inn. No, bats. He found bats. Good work, boy. Bats are exactly what we needed right now.
Sir Walter Beck is a companion character in Fable 3, acting as the hero's mentor and combat trainer, as well as Logan's assistant and advisor at the start of the game. Walter's voiced by Bernard Hill.
Walter was a friend and companion of the Hero of Bowerstone. The two fought side by side in countless battles. Beck continued to serve his friend's son, Logan, after the Hero of Bowerstone's death, but began reconsidering his position as Logan became a tyrant. Eventually, Beck, having been tasked by the Hero of Bowerstone to look after his/her youngest child, the Hero of Brightwall, realized that the prince/princess had the potential to be a hero, something that Logan lacked. He leads the hero and Jasper into a secret passage outside of the castle to stage a revolution, and is the supporting character in most of the revolution quests.
Once the hero has successfully led the revolution and becomes the monarch of Albion, Walter appoints Hobson as their assistant while he works with Ben Finn to recruit and train an army to defend Albion against the darkness.
So at the start of Fable 3, it is apparent that Walter has been tutoring the Hero of Brightwall in combat for a long time. He is also becoming increasingly suspicious of Logan's motives and rulings, showing distaste for the king. After hearing the hero's encouraging or harsh speech, he teaches the hero how to fight and how to perform flourishes. After the protesters gather around the castle, Walter speaks with Logan on their behalf, but gets beaten by the guards. After the ultimatum set by Logan, Walter decides that he, the hero, and Jasper need to flee the castle and overthrow the tyrannical King Logan. He serves as the guide to the hero, leading them through the catacombs, the Dweller Camp, the Bowerstone Sewers, the Unknown Shore, and the ancient Shadelight Dungeon. Walter subsequently leads the hero to many places to gather allies and is shown to have connections with several key members of the revolution, even though he was closely associated with the royal family. He also proves instrumental regarding tactics during the battle for Albion.
While in Aurora, the hero and Sir Walter are exploring a cave when he is struck blind by the crawler. After escaping to the surface, Walter begs the hero to leave him behind. Even if the hero attempts to drag him to safety, he will collapse, forcing the hero to go ahead alone to look for help. As the hero wanders through the desert, they see mirages of Walter, one in which Walter tells the hero of a personal experience which left him claustrophobic and afraid of the dark, which makes him extremely vulnerable to the forces of the darkness. Help comes to Walter and the hero from the Aurorans, who are alerted to Walter and the hero's disappearances by Ben Finn. Once the revolution is successful and King Logan is deposed, Walter and the hero learn that Logan became a tyrant to build an army capable of defending Albion from the darkness, which is planning to invade Albion and mercilessly destroy everything. Walter subsequently aids the hero through the challenges of the weight of the world, during which he presents the royal agenda and the expenses or benefits of certain rulings. He is one of the few people in Albion that understands the threat the crawler represents and therefore supports the hero in their efforts to save Albion, even if it means becoming a tyrant like Logan. He also is in charge of training the royal army for the upcoming invasion.
Finally, after a year passes, the Crawler and its shadows attack Albion. During the battle, the Crawler takes control over Walter and the hero must kill him to stop the Crawler. Though mortally wounded, Walter congratulates the hero for doing what was right, stating that they had made him proud. Finally, he dies in the hero's arms, who is on the verge of tears. After the battle, the statue of Walter is erected in the garden of Bowerstone Castle, and the funeral service is held there. At the funeral, Ben Finn says, "Let's send our friend off in style." And at his signal, 6 soldiers fired their rifles off repeatedly, honouring the great man.
Sir Walter Beck is foremost loyal to the Kingdom of Albion and to the Hero of Brightwall, who he cares for as a child of his own. In addition to loyalty, he repeatedly demonstrates his good humour, often in the form of observational remarks to the hero while they travel across Albion in their attempt to start the revolution. As an old soldier, Walter is also the boisterous sort both on and off the battlefield. He charges headlong with an eagerness into battle, throwing insults and sword blows in equal measure to his enemies. Off the battlefield, he demonstrates a friendly candor to would-be allies, like Samuel, preferably while enjoying an ale.
Sir Walter stands as a morally righteous individual, initially acting as something of a moral barometer for the hero. He reaffirms his pride in the hero if they perform good choices and displays concern over the well-being of not only his friends, but the nation he loves and the people who live in it. On the other hand, while Walter clearly prefers being morally righteous, he is much more understanding of morally great choices than someone like Paige. The hero chooses to become a tyrant to save the kingdom from the crawler. Walter still proclaims that he is proud of them.
Walter enjoys a wide circle of contacts, including old relations with many of the would-be revolutionaries such as Sabine and Paige. Oddly, he admits to Paige during their initial meeting that he wishes he could have gotten the hero to her sooner, indicating that he privately held revolutionary thoughts long before smuggling the hero out of Bowerstone Castle. This is further suggested during that nighttime flight in which he wonders aloud if he should have moved against Logan long ago.
A witty sort of man, even in tense situations, Walter is usually the first to make some sort of acerbic remark to lighten the mood, even in more dangerous places such as Morningwood Fort. He famously deviates from his behaviour, however, whenever he is forced to go through dark, enclosed spaces such as caves. This culminates in his encounter in Shadelight with the Crawler, who preyed on these phobias until he drove Walter into a frenzied state of near madness.
Walter's also featured in Fable Heroes as basically a playable character and is unlocked after completing all of the levels, including the credits, in the world of Albion. This also unlocks the achievement Ruler of Albion. He wields a sword and a pistol, and is one of the two characters in the game to use both melee and ranged attacks. Pretty decent character in there. Moving on with some trivia. So Walter's actually voiced by Bernard Hill, as mentioned, whose probably most prominent role is King Theoden in the second two Lord of the Rings movies. I think he might have also appeared in Game of Thrones briefly, but I could be wrong on that.
He may have, yeah.
I'm probably wrong on that, but anyway.
As more trivia, he received his knighthood while fighting in the army of the Hero of Bowerstone.
Walter has speluncophobia, which is the fear of caves, nyctophobia, a frenzied fear of darkness, and claustrophobia, the fear of enclosed spaces. During a battle, he and two other soldiers sought shelter in a cave to hide from the enemy's army. The enemy did not follow them, instead they blasted the entrance, leaving him and his men trapped inside the cave for 3 days. The event still has an effect on Walter to this day, as he makes several mentions of disliking caves, cramped spaces, and darkness.
A portrait of Sir Walter Beck can be dug up in the Bowerstone Castle garden and used as a piece of furniture.
His favourite word or catchphrase seems to be balls, used as a swear word. Well, I mean, he's English, so that's kind of what it is.
While in the hole for the first time, Walter shows off his magic, which consists of screaming boo at a hob and frightening it to death.
He's the only person besides Jasper and the hero who visits the sanctuary.
Fable 3 limited collector's edition deck of cards, Walter is seen as the King of Diamonds.
Yeah, I actually had those cards back in the day.
Yeah, it's a really cool set actually, the whole limited collector's edition of Fable 3.
So Walter is actually both the first and last enemy fought in the main storyline, interestingly enough. The first time as your trainer, and then the second as being possessed by the Crawler.
That's really cool. He plays the same role as the Guildmaster and Teresa in the previous Fable titles.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much,
yeah. When blinded by the Crawler, if you look at his eyes, they seem to be missing. But later on, he opens his eyes while still blind, showing the black where was thought to be his missing eyes was actually just black on his eyelids, possibly some of the darkness, or just not great graphics.
During his funeral, there are several sparrows behind his statue. After the guns are fired, they fly away. That's really specific.
Because the association of sparrows and Fable. The statue erected of him after his death has one foot on a barrel. This is likely a joke made by the developers alluding to Captain Morgan Run.
While sitting in the upper floor of the tavern in Brightwall, Walter's sword seems to stick through the floor. Amazing graphical
more graphics
struggles.
Yeah. At one point during the Mist Peak monorail, you can hear Walter quote Shakespeare's Hamlet when he says, "A hit, a very palpable hit." However, Walter leaves out the very. Right.
Okay. As revealed in the second installment of General Turner's diaries, Walter fought alongside Turner and Major Swift while they were soldiers. Turner expressed his admiration for Walter, deeming him a fine soldier.
Walter means army ruler, I think in German.
Walter is the last noted soldier that served under the old hero king or queen to die. Major Swift, General Turner, and Sir Walter Beck.
Yeah, so that's really it for trivia now too. I guess he's a bit of as a lot of the characters, he's a bit of a stereotype really of that old school English kind of, have them, I guess, male country club kind of character, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the one that a lot of the kids of today sort of think of as toxic, I guess. But that's the stereotype. Is this old school English gentleman, in the kind of aristocracy, loves a bit of rough, but done in a fair way. Loves a drink, and that's it really. Like more
and ultimately a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, like a good guy, but maybe yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's it really. Just a guide character really.
Yeah, definitely a pretty cool sort of supporting character in Fable 3, and I think honestly my favourite thing about him is nothing to do with the game, but definitely that King of Diamonds card just from that set is really, really cool.
Absolutely. I think it was a solid character, not a top tier Fable character by any stretch, but a solid character, and
just a good supporting character. Mainly.
Yeah,
he's a really, really solid example of a supporting character in Fable being interesting without having to be, of a major bloodline or a hero himself. He's just he's more of a military guy that's still
exactly
able to help the hero and help them on their path to be the hero.
Exactly. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next Fable lore video.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
I'm sorry. You took away the darkness. It's been inside me all this time. But it's light now. I can see the sky. And it's light. I don't think I can fight anymore.
It's all over, Walter. We won. We beat it together.
Do you remember the stories I tell you when you were a child? There was a great king once. The mightiest hero of them all. Remember what you would say?
Teach me to be a hero.
You've done me proud, boy. You've always done me proud.
Oh, Walter.